What if democracy, paraded as the purest system of the people, by the people, is nothing but a stage where illusionists pull strings behind velvet curtains? Let's tear back that curtain. Today, we're not just criticizing democracy. We're exposing the hidden psychological tricks that keep you docile, distracted, and most of all, deceived. Media spin, framing narratives that bend truth. Imagine for a moment that you only see what you're told to see. That's media spin. It's not just what's included, it's what's left out, what's highlighted, what's twisted. Here's how it works. A political scandal breaks. One outlet calls it an honest mistake. Another shouts unforgivable corruption. Same event, opposite realities. As Sun Tzu said, all warfare is based on deception. In modern democracies, warfare isn't fought with swords, it's fought with stories. Ever notice how language can sway you? Freedom fighters or terrorists? The spin doctor decides. Media magicians use selective footage, loaded words, and cherry-picked experts. Suddenly, your outrage or support is guided, not chosen. So next time you hear breaking news, ask yourself, who is framing this picture and why? Comment below, what headline made you rethink your trust in the news? Polling mirage, numbers, crafted to mislead. Numbers don't lie, but liars use numbers. Polling is the art of sculpting reality with data. Politicians boast 70% support us. But let's dig deeper. Who did they ask? What question did they ask? When was it asked? Right after a scandal or before a crisis? There's a dirty secret in polling. Wording molds the outcome. Do you support increased security? Gets more yes than do you support surveillance of private life? Same issue, new face, and those splashy graphs? They can thicken lines, shrink scales, hide nuances. Suddenly, a random phone survey becomes the voice of the nation. Numbers dazzle, but do they tell the truth, or just what power wants you to believe? Imagine if every poll had to reveal its own skeletons. Would anything change? False consensus, making you believe everyone agrees. Have you ever held back your opinion, fearing no one else thinks like me? You just met the deceptive force of false consensus. In psychology, it's called the bandwagon effect. Most people want to belong, not to be outcasts. Politicians and media exploit this by constantly repeating one view, till it becomes the air you breathe. The experts all agree. The whole country demands change. But who are these all? This trick preys on your fear of isolation. The philosopher Hannah Arendt warned, the greatest enemy of truth is very often not the lie, but the myth, persistent, persuasive, and unrealistic. The myth that everyone agrees suffocates dissent. It corners you into silent submission. Could it be that millions are quietly doubting, just like you? Why don't we speak up? Who's benefiting from our silence? Info overload, drowning truth in noise. Picture yourself trapped in a room where everyone's shouting at once. Could you hear the one whisper of truth? That's info overload, the age of endless notification, scandal, reaction, hot take. The philosopher Byung-Chul Han calls this the fatigue society, not oppressed by force, but exhausted by excess. The trick is simple. Overwhelm you until real issues drown in trivial drama. You start to crave relief, not clarity. You miss the quiet question, what really matters here? Every extra headline, trending story, or viral outrage is a vortex. It spins, confuses, numbs. If you can't convince them, confuse them. Politicians know that chaos can be their shield. What fact buried beneath noise have you lost sight of recently? Symbol politics, empty gestures that replace solutions. A ribbon here, a hashtag there, a grand speech about unity or change. But when the lights go out, what actually changed? Symbol politics is governance by gesture. Real action is sacrificed for optics. You see politicians kneeling, holding banners, changing logos. It feels profound, but it changes nothing fundamental. Nietzsche called this slave morality, where appearance and conformity replace true courage. You're handed symbols because solutions are hard, risky, costly. But symbols are easy, viral, safe. Ask yourself, is my democracy fixing the wound or just swapping out the bandage? Scapegoat game, shifting blame to hide failures. When things go wrong, someone must be blamed. Rarely is it the ones in charge. Enter the scapegoat, an old game as ancient as civilization itself, now dressed in modern suits. The philosopher René Girard said, "The scapegoat mechanism is the foundation of society. Find a vulnerable group, blame them for society's problems, and suddenly, the failures of power vanish in the fire of public anger. Economic crash? Blame immigrants. Health crisis? Blame opposition. The cycle repeats and we swallow it, hoping if we just punish someone, things will improve. But it never ends. Because scapegoating isn't about solutions. It's about survival for those already in control. Who have you seen become the newest scapegoat, and who's benefiting from your outrage? Hope promises, uplifting lies. During campaigns. Tomorrow will be better. Just vote for me. How many times have you heard this echo? Hope is powerful. It keeps you moving, sacrificing, dreaming. But in politics, hope can be weaponized. Campaigners promise jobs, justice, reform, knowing they can't deliver most of it. You vote, you wait, you're let down. The philosopher Karl Popper warned of this danger. Those who promise us paradise on earth never produced anything but a hell. The cycle is seductive because you want to believe, you want to hope, but hope without honesty is nothing but anesthetic. What's the greatest hope you've been sold? And what did you get instead? Fear theater, manufacturing threats to keep control. And finally, fear, the oldest trick in the book. When a ruler wants loyalty, nothing works like a good crisis. There are enemies at the gate. If you don't comply, disaster will strike. Sometimes the danger is real, but often it's dimly lit shadows cast on the wall. The philosopher Michel Foucault dissected how governmentality operates. You're not just ruled by laws, but by your own anxiety. A frightened public is obedient. And so, our screens flicker with terror alerts, economic catastrophes, or a new enemy within. Can you spot when fear is being sold to you? And when was the last time a threat evaporated as soon as the election was over? The real trick of modern democracy isn't oppression, but distraction. Not lies, but illusions. So ask yourself, are you casting your vote, or is someone else casting a spell? Drop your sharpest thought below. Which trick fooled you the longest, and which one will you see coming next time? Found this video interesting? Leave us a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Let us know what we should cover next in the comments below.